Let's take you back to a story we took earlier, talking about the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, where a drama ensued between two factions of the Labour Party as well as the proceedings at the courts. Our correspondent Celestina Area is joining me now to bring us up to speed with developments out of the Petitions Tribunal. Celestina, talk to us about today's proceedings, especially the matter of recognition that happened between the two warring factions of the Labour Party. How did it all begin?
Veronica, the issues for the faction started before the pre-hearing session began today. The acting national chairman of the party, Lamidi Papa, approached some supporters of the Abuja faction of the party as to why they are in court, considering the judgments or the ruling given by the FCT High Court, who had already suspended Abuja and also his national working committee. But so far so good, they went into an exchange of words. The man had to keep his cool, stating that when appearances are being made, when the proceeding starts, they would know who the court would recognize. So when the matter was called today, Peter Obi was in court. He made appearance for the petitioner, and that of the Labour Party, Mr. Lamidi, stood up, and also the national women leader of the party also stood up. So both tried to make appearances for Labour Party before the court today, and the chairman of the panel said that if two persons are trying to make appearances for Labour Party, none of them will be put on record. So that was decided, and the court went into the business of today. And the business of today was for the council of the Labour Party to brief the court as to the progress they have made, because at the last adjourned date, the tribunal had told parties that they should come together, set up a team, and narrow out or streamline the evidences and documents which they sought to tender and their issues for determination before the court, so that when proper hearing commences, it will be a free flow of events. However, counsel to the Labour Party, Mr. Levi, told the tribunal today that they did not make any substantial progress because 70% of the documents they have sought to get from INEC hasn't been given to them. Documents being from EC8A, from Rivers State, and also from Sokoto State. So they were not able to make any progress as to the meeting that was supposed to hold on Monday and yesterday being Tuesday. However, INEC, responding to the submission of Mr. Levi, opposed to what he said. He noted that the document from Sokoto, which Mr. Levi and his clients are seeking, that is ready, but they were asked to pay the sum of 1.5 million naira as legal fee charged by the legal department of the INEC commission in Sokoto State, which they refused to pay. And the documents of Rivers State, some documents were given to them, but they insisted that if all documents are not brought in, they would not collect any documents at all. And after the meeting that the court had asked them to set up to meet up, INEC counsel said that on Monday he had called the counsel to the Labour Party and told him that, yeah, we are meeting, but your people are not in the meeting. And the counsel to the Labour Party told him that he was not aware that they were supposed to meet. Bearing in mind that at the last adjourned day, he asked for an adjournment so that parties could meet. So INEC chairman said, INEC counsel, was surprised. On Tuesday, which being yesterday, they had a meeting. Council of representative of the Labour Party were in that meeting. According to the INEC council, they walked out of the meeting, so they couldn't actually make progress. But the APC on its part also confirmed the submission made by INEC council, saying that yes, all of these things did happen, but the issues as to certificate the CCT being demanded by the Labour Party is just a fundamental issue where the Labour Party has refused to pay the sum of 1.5 million naira that was asked by INEC to get the CCT of documents from Rivers State. So it was like a back and forth day, away from what we had seen last week, where yes, progress had been made, but today the tribunal, when the court went back and forth as to what was obtainable and what was not obtainable and how their meeting was supposed to have gone. But so far so good. The counsel to Labour Party sought for an adjournment, hoping that by Friday he will be able to get the documents from INEC. But INEC counsel made it known that INEC is ready to work with the courts and the parties involved. INEC is not withholding any documents, and Labour Party counsel told the court that INEC is not allowing them, had not produced the document they had sought for. But counsel to the panel, chairman of the panel, I beg your pardon, said that the order of the court was for them to look at the documents, to inspect the documents, not for INEC to produce the document. So this was the back and forth that we went through the courts today.
Right. I am wondering, Celestina, what the reaction of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party was when all of the drama ensued, because you mentioned that he was in court.
Yes, he was in court, and the suspended national chairman also, Julius Abure, was also in court, seated beside the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Also with Lamidi Papa was also in court. Apparently, he left the court before the whole issue began, where, I'd approached Mr. Abure to speak to newsmen as to the issues of this issue of the national chairman is sub judice at the FCT High Court. The issue is still pending, and his suspension is still subsist. So the court has not overturned itself on that particular ruling. So we tried to get his reaction as to the issue that played out when a representation of the political party was called, but he declined comment. However, Mr. Papa wanted to speak to journalists, but some members or supporters of the Abure-led faction vehemently stopped him. It even went into an altercation with journalists that they were telling us that we would not allow him to speak to us. It got to a point that they were almost about beating him up, I could say, if not for the fact that, I could say that the security men at the Court of Appeal acted, but not swiftly, because one would expect that persons who do not have business to be in court would not be in court. Although, yes, they are supporters of a particular political party, but the number of supporters ought to have been limited, because for we journalists, we have been given this tag as to journalists who are not accredited and don't have any business being in the court would not be in court. And also the way leading to the Court of Appeal, which sits as the court for the presidential election petition, has been barricaded. So how this got to happen is still surprising to us, because last week we experienced peaceful proceedings and peaceful outings from all political parties, but today supporters of the Abure-led faction vehemently refused Mr. Papa to address newsmen, insisting that he's a fake, he's not a member of the party, and he would not talk to the press. But so far so good. If we should move over and go to the issue as to the factionalization of the Labour Party, it didn't start today or yesterday. It has been an issue since 2014. Apparently we have over 4 factions of the party, but the 2 more recent and the 2 popular is that of Abure and that of Apapa. We also have the faction of Salisu Mohammed and also that of Kalistu Zokafo. But most recently, and the one that was recognized by INEC, was that of Abure, which brought about the Peter Obi campaigned through.
Celestina, so much to be said, but thank you for bringing us up to speed with developments out of the Election Petitions Tribunal and the drama that ensued.